My visual impairment came about when I was born, and I was born with cataracts. It's not very common. It's about 150,000 people will be born with both eyes having cataracts as a baby. Cataracts is like if you were to look through a Polly Pocket and your vision would be blurred. That's like the start of it, and basically it just deteriorates until you can't see anything if you leave them long enough. My sight varies from moment to moment, basically. When I'm sitting in a classroom, I sit near the front, and I'll be able to see one piece of the board at a time. If you put a cardboard box around your head, it would be like seeing my vision, because I just see a little box, nothing, everything else around it is blurred. And at times there's even like a blur down the middle, so my two like images that my eyes are getting don't match up. When the light suddenly changes, or when I'm walking from like the outside to inside, it'll take my eyes a couple of minutes to adjust, because my pupils and irises are fused together, so they don't dilate like normal pupils to adjust really quickly to light changes. And at times it could even mean minutes without being able to see. My emotions are very strained with it. Sometimes I can completely forget about it and be very happy and everything will be fine, and then suddenly I'll either miss something that's happened around me, or I won't be able to go places with my friends because my eyes are too tired. Then I feel a little bit down because I've missed out on something, or I can't make my own dinner, so I'll feel impatient that I can't do stuff on my own, and it's just hard at times. The biggest challenge I faced because of my visual impairment would be moving from primary to post-primary education, simply because it's a shock to anybody, the workload, and then you put on a visual impairment and it's so tiring, and you go to a longer school day, and so therefore your eyes are more tired already, and then time you get home, and then you have to start thinking about homework, and I'm better doing work in natural light, and then by the time you get home it's not natural light anymore, and it's harder to see the pages. And then increase of computer work. I'd always stayed well clear of using a computer, because it was just so draining. I've started to use a long cane and get training with it because I wanted to be able to move about more independently on my own. And to do this, I needed some sort of tool to help me get down the street safely, because one of my biggest fears of walking on my own was that I would just miss something and go head over heels. So the long cane has a roller on the end of it, so it rolls from side to side, giving me like a step in advance of what's in front of me, so I can manoeuvre myself around it so I don't hurt myself. I have always been in the school choir for as long as I can remember, and it's quite nice because my music becomes enlarged, so I don't have to strain my eyes, but I can still perform and nobody notices. I do photography, which most people find bizarre at times when I say, but somehow I just like taking photos, and then most of the work I do to them is on a laptop, so it's nice and big, but it's just nice capturing, like especially landscapes in different seasons and different lights. I recently completed my Gold Jig of Edinburgh. I'd previously done bronze and silver. The previous two had done walking, but I did my gold on a tandem with somebody in the front who was very experienced, and it was with another group of partially sighted people. So when you bumped into things, you didn't feel as bad because everybody was experiencing the same things. But it was still like hard because you had to cook for yourself and you had to make sure you had everything. That was a big issue. Like once you lift something out of your bag, you have to put it straight back into your bag so you don't set it down and lose it on the ground and then cycle off and are miles away until you realise. When I think about the attitudes I've experienced so far, I can't think of many positive attitudes compared to many negative ones that I've had. The positive attitudes come from my friends and family who know me and who know what I can do even though I have a visual impairment. But most people in the general public have quite a negative attitude to visual impairment. Before the long cane, I had a symbol cane, and I got this because I bumped into a lady in a shop one day when I was with my mum, but I didn't see her, and she was quite rude. Even though I was holding on to my mum's trolley, she was still quite rude to us, and I thought, right, okay, I need to do something to make her more aware that I have a visual impairment. So I got a symbol cane, and when I used this, particularly in the bus station after school and before school, there was very rude and childish remarks made about it. And I think it's a very hard thing to say, but a lot of older people are very rude about it because they don't expect young people to have a visual impairment and they find it quite strange. So then when they say something bad, younger people are then, well, like, we learnt this from our parents, so this is what we're going to say now too. And I think that's a horrible thing that has happened. And then when I used my long cane, it got a bit better. Not as many people say stuff because it's more of a thing that, oh, she's blind. But then there's still some people who think, oh, she's also deaf, so she can't hear us making these remarks at her, which is also very rude and annoying. And I'd be quite quick to like let them know that I can hear them, and then, which isn't very good because then that makes me think that I'm rude as well sometimes. My vision, once I got operations as a young child, it improved greatly. But since the workload has increased, my eyes have deteriorated again, and it's a strong possibility that I could wake up any morning and not have sight, and that my eyes probably will never get better again. They'll just get worse. Next year is my year to go to uni, and I'm hopefully going to do social policy. And I'd like to do this just at Jordanstown because I couldn't move out of Northern Ireland yet. I'm not that independent. But this course focuses on real issues that, face our society today. As a career, I find it very hard to pinpoint like one thing I'd like to do with it. I'd like to give some time to organisations, that maybe don't have the knowledge that I might have at the end of my degree, to give them some focus on what they could do differently to help people in Northern Ireland understand different issues and to change the attitudes.
That I can work and volunteer so that you get access to employment, so that Claire Bryson that we are.
Actually, Mum, can you come here for us?